Welcome back, beautiful, amazing Minecrafters. This is the Nerdy Stepdad with episode 2 of Minecraft Let's Play. Today, we're going to work on just get.
The nerd herd awaits. Like, subscribe. Let's conquer this galaxy together.
As you can see, I was able to get an iron pickaxe, some more coal, and some copper ingots. And I did fix the starter base hut, mostly because it was bothering me. And we got ourselves a little tiny farm started, though that has a long way to go. But for today, let's go do some surface mining. I don't know if I want to go too deep into a cave. I also got a shield, as you can see, which is huge. Mountain over here has proven to be pretty nice for gathering. Whenever you start in a Minecraft world, after you get yourself a little starter shed and your bed set up, it's time to start gathering some resources. You want to get a little bit of iron, which you saw I got just mostly for a shield and a nicer pickaxe. I use that only when I find like diamonds or emeralds or something, which I haven't found yet, but that is what I have that for. Up until that point, I will just use the copper or stone pickaxes. That's just me personally. You're more than welcome, obviously, to use your iron, especially if you have quite a bit of it. Whenever you're mining or going places, a lot of times it's nice to leave yourself like a trail of how to get back. I'm not very far away from my starter area, so I don't really need to do that. But once I get into a cave, I will always put my torches on the left. And then that way, when I'm going back, torches being on the right means I am on the right way home. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you have some sort of way to know um, how you're getting home. Otherwise, you can get stuck really easily wherever you're mining, and that's not good. You don't want to get lost. Or so here, but I'm just kind of doing some surface general mining. It's always good to get as much coal as you can. Copper comes really easily, so it's nice to get yourself a nice little armor set going on. As you can see, I have all of my copper uh, stuff. It's not the best armor in the world, but it's better than having no armor for sure. It's better than leather. And until you can start to really get your iron supply up, it's pretty decent, actually. Definitely not, I wouldn't enchant it or anything. It's nothing that good, but it is good enough for early game. At least that's my opinion. I'm sure there are other people that just like the look of the copper, so they'll enchant it, and that's fine. I do not think tonight, in this episode, we're going to dive deep enough for diamonds, so we won't be getting enough diamonds for a pickaxe and a enchanting table, which are generally your first suggested items. Oh, look, some surface iron. That's what I'm talking about. And in terms of iron, the first things you want to get is a pickaxe and a shield, like I said. So, pretty nice. So here is an entrance to a cave. Nothing crazy. We can go and check it out. That's what the early game of Minecraft is all about. Don't know if this is going to lead anywhere, but as we said, put it on the left so we know the right way is home. We can get ourselves a little bit of a hole here. Ourselves a little stairways down. And it's definitely good to play with your sound on. Maybe not necessarily max because it can get really loud, but loud enough that you can hear creatures. Um, Sometimes when you're mining, you'll hear a zombie, and so you know that there's an opening somewhere and that there's zombies. You can be ready for the zombies, but also sometimes that can lead you to a spawner or something similar, which is really nice. And that led into another piece of art. It's not a cave as much as just a little ravine, but it was got a little bit of coal and a little bit of iron, so that's pretty nice. And just shovel or mine our way back up to the surface. Luckily, we didn't need to use our trick for knowing how to get back home because we're going out a different way than we came in, but it would have worked. And we're back out. Now, eventually, when you're taking longer voyages, you'll probably need to pull up your coordinates so you know where your base is. That is a command. I don't have all the commands memorized, but I know that you can pull up your coordinates and then you have an idea. Just take a screenshot, make yourself, especially if you're on a computer, make yourself a nice little folder with locations, and then that way you'll always know where stuff is. Coordinates. If you're playing, oh, that was scary. If you're playing on a gaming system, maybe have yourself a little notebook that you can write those coordinates. Now, since I'm not going far, I don't need to do that. But if you're going to be venturing further than just a few hundred blocks away, it is a good idea to do that just so you don't get lost and then have to start completely over again, which is never ending. You can see I am not getting crazy. I'm not going way out of my way. I'm not trying to venture out too much further than just this little alcove of stone. Just trying to get a little bit of the surface stuff that generates. There's another little mountain over there that I will definitely go explore at some point. But that is not a today's adventure. As you can see, the sun is starting to go down. I want to get back because I don't necessarily want to be fighting a whole lot of stuff yet. There's our tower that we made so that we know how to get home. You don't see it sometimes when you're at a mountain like that. You can increase your render distance. That'll let you see a few more blocks out. It might be able to help you see it. And if not, just you know which way you came, get to the next hill, and then you should be able to see it and get yourself back on the path home. And as you can see, we followed it and got us back home just fine. Sun is definitely setting. The bad creatures will start spawning, so it's nice to be near your base where stuff is lit up so that you shouldn't have to worry about too much stuff coming and attacking you. One thing I also found out while doing the little bit of touching up I did before this episode is I did find a nice use for these leaves that we're coming across that keep falling and keep showing back up. Like I don't think they stay away after you get them up. But a nice use for them is to just turn them into bone meal. It does take quite a bit of them, and it's not something I would go out and like normally just farm these leaves for, but as you're chopping and you're getting some of these leaves, um, this is a pretty nice use for them, especially early. It'll really help get your first farm up and running. Like I said, it does take quite a bit of them to do anything worthwhile, as you can see, but it's at least a use for them. Other things you can bone meal include like saplings. Then you can take that bone meal and it just helps grow trees or other crops quicker. This is wheat, so we're just going to grow that on up our bone meal. And we'll take our copper hoe there. Now we have some more and seeds to grow more wheat. Now, I don't have any water here, which is going to make them grow faster. I'm not trying to be super efficient with this just yet. This is just a little starter farm, just enough to get us started. Eventually, with this wheat, we will go and gather some sheep and some cows and domesticate ourselves a little herd. But that is definitely another day's problem. I'm going to go ahead and start smelting that iron. I don't like keeping a whole lot of this on me. I am getting full on items. Have to make myself another chest here eventually. Now, pigs do not like wheat. They like turnips or beets and carrots. No, potatoes. Potatoes and beets. Sheep like wheat and cows like. We do need more food, so I'm not too worried about these pigs not respawning later. Our mob caps with just me on the server and just from time to time isn't even close to capping, so we don't have to worry about that. We will still be getting wild animals spawn. But later, when you're building farms and things, you're going to want to get underneath because wherever you're putting your farm, because a lot of times there'll be caves and caverns underneath, and mobs will be spawning, and they will slow down the rate on which all of your stuff is working. Like, and stuff that we can't compost and we don't want anymore, and just throw it away. It'll despawn over time. Wouldn't pass the health inspection, but it's just us, so I'm going to go ahead and start clearing some of this area out because eventually I do want to bring some farm animals this way. Oh, I've done a little bit of work since last we were on. I have started to build the barn. I built a little pen. I plan to go grab some keeping cows. And I've just built the first floor. I'll need to get some glass, of course. I haven't got any sand going yet. Still putting in some slabs here. But overall, it's a nice start to the barn. I am liking it so far. And then we will go up a little bit here again. We'll just start to roof it out, and this will just be space from the roof. It's not going to be a whole room or anything. And then we'll just put some storage up here. So not bad for the first part of the build. It's not done, obviously. I did have a wandering trader come by. He didn't have anything good. I did make a bucket of water. I've been putting some water under here. I need to do another one. All in all, it was a productive day after dying multiple times trying to find a good cave. I didn't really find a good cave. I did find a village, which we'll go explore in a later video. And there were some villager patrols, so there's got to be an outpost somewhere nearby, which is exciting. Overall, though, a pretty unproductive first few little mining trips just to get surface mining because I didn't find a good cave. But we got some shears. We got an extra shield for when this one breaks. Got an iron pickaxe, an iron axe for when it's needed. We got a lot more coal, which is good. Some bones. But overall, and a little bit of emeralds. Overall, not a bad little day. And I am smelting some stone, and I think I'm gonna splatter that stone in with that cobblestone, just so it's not all cobble. And yeah, that's what we've done today. Nothing amazing, but also that's kind of sometimes what Minecraft is at first. You're just trying to get situated. And as you can see, I've got some iron boots. My copper stuff's still holding on. So it's working for us at the moment. I did, as you see, added another chest here. And that has been very useful. A double chest at that. I have composted a crap ton of this leaf litter, which I've used to expand our little wheat field there. And they definitely just regrow over time. The quickest way to get rid of them I have found is with the bucket, which is nice and fast, but they definitely regrow. And I am going to need to get some of those animals pretty quick because I am running out of food. That's where we're at right now. That's going to be all from the Nerdy Stepdad for this Minecraft Monday, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Where are you going, Nerdy? For a nap.